Tuesday, last Tuesday of the year. Here we come. Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. More fun-filled day. Basically, they're trying to close this year out, so we are going to see how they do that. It seems like everything is going on the upside, not the downside. So, basically what it comes down to is it seems to be, what in blazes is that? There we go. And so, well, that was a weird commercial. So that's exactly what we're seeing here now. Is that the market is the stock markets are slowly lifting. It seems like the Russell has started to back off the last 3 or 4 days. Currencies, as you can see there's the Swiss. Let's widen that out a little bit. There you are. See, it's moving back down again. You can see our white line breaking the dotted line here, or what I like to call this one right here, the three-dimensional zero line. And so when it breaks below it, it's usually a sign of it going down in value, or it will go down because that's an increase in value because there's less Swiss saltines being offered versus a dollar. That's how that works there. And then let's take a look at it over here on our Chicago Quant. You can see we're right on the edge, same as what we have here on J4X. We're just pushing down. Same thing here. See it right there? Let's give it a refresh just to double check, but normally the spot currencies do a fine job of keeping themselves updated. There it is right there. We see that green situation. Now it's nothing. A down candle, and it's pressuring, and we're in a weekly sell here, as you can see. So that is the action we're watching at the moment when it comes to the dollar versus the Swiss franc. Now let's jump over to the euro. See what the euro looks like, and there it is right there. You can see it should be rising, which it is. Not a lot, it just is, and that's the direction that it should be taking. You can see here we're seeing the same exact thing. Oh, there's Giannis. I have shared my, okay. And so there, you can see here it's done the same thing. It is the white line breaking through the dotted line, and it's lifting up. And we're getting some green in here. And let's just take a look at it on the Chicago Quant side of it, just to confirm the two like to work together. And you see that right there. Again, on we had the volatility signal here, and then buying in the first hour here is fine. And so that's what we're getting at this point in time. Matter of fact, we can remove that and put the line in right there, because that's where it's getting going at this point in time. So euro looking firm there. Not anything major in the sense of like it's taking off through the roof or anything, but it just shows the firmness and a little weakness in the dollar. And since here in the States our election is not even remotely closely over, we're stuck in this crazy situation where we're not sure if we're coming or going at this point in time. So that's the calamity, I guess you could say, of it all, is we don't know what we're doing and when it's going to be over with. It just seems the beat goes on, I guess you could say, and that's exactly what we're seeing here. Is the beat just keeps on going on. It just refuses to a resolution. I guess January 6th will be the next one. Well, the media says one thing, the law says another. The Constitution and the law say one thing, the media and Mr. Biden's group says another, so it's going to be really entertaining. So we're just, I guess that's why the dollar is the way it is. Also, it's the end of the year. There must be some sizing up. The dollar had been strong all year long, so I guess someone's got to be taking a profit, right? I mean, that's usually the way it works. Is that if you don't, I used to say this in earlier years on the Dukascopy webinars, I used to say that if you have a position on and you're making money in it, if you don't take it off when you're making money, the next thing you know is you're taking it off when you're losing money. And that is truly the truth of it all and the end result. So the objective is basically to take that profit. And that's where we are at the moment. So now, let's see, what do we do here? We are, oh, there it is right there. I was looking for something. I couldn't figure out where I put it. There it is. And so now what we are is we are sitting at a point now where the cable is. Cable is probably the noisiest of them all when you really think about it. And that is because of the European Union situation. Now we got as high as 136 and change here. And let's see what we can do here about moving this over a little bit. I guess if we go like that, and then we move it over like so a little bit, and then let's get the fact check spreadsheet up there at the same time. There it is right there. You can see, there we go. There's a scaling thing going on. Maybe we need to rescale this. Well, how do we do that? What if we go like that? Clone, remove, indicator, resort default. Let's see. Oh, it may be right there. There we go. Let's see what that does. I think that does it. No, that didn't really do it. Didn't change the scale. What is that? Select a custom range. No, not particularly. I guess we could if we wanted to. But I emphasize more this, the indicator, than I want to emphasize the bars themselves. Just the color is important at this point in time. You can see the red has been kicking out for 2 days here. You see the white line piercing the dotted line right there versus the dashed line. And you can see here on cable, let's put that up there. Right there, and there's cable, and you can see it's kind of moseying along. Now today it is challenging a daily sell. Just like they're doing with the J4X itself. You can see the J4X is breaking down and doing the same weakness, you know. Traders out there, you have anything in particular you'd like to see through Doc's mathematics? Just scream it out. We'll go chase it. So there it is, the cable acting relatively strong there. Let's see it like that. You can see it has that characteristic, like it's trying to find a way to go up, up, and away. And now it had made those 36s. We'll see if it jumps back up there. In some ways, you know, what I said about 30 seconds ago or a minute ago really sinks in, and that is that, you know, you had profits. You know, the dollar was so strong all year long, and so profits are being taken. You know, you take those gains, sell something else that took a loss, you offset one with the other, and you pay less taxes. Remember, taxes always infiltrate our trading decision, which is an irritating thing. You have to take and change positions literally because of taxes. And you can try to hedge them with options at times, but over here in the States, the IRS pays attention to at the money and in the money calls. So I guess if you have to go out and buy a lot of delta and decay, bull spreads and so forth to try to do your hedge. But it is irritating. Know that you have to do all that dancing just to satisfy the tax man. Sounds like a Beatles song, eh? Tax man, I'm the tax man. Yep, exactly. All right, so there we are with that. Now, we take a look at Euro Turkish Lira. You can see it's been moving down. Been in the sell since there on a daily basis. Let's go like that. And it's been in a weekly sell for 2 full weeks since here. Let's put that in. After 50 some odd weeks, after a whole year in a buy, I think this one actually went in and out, so it was only like 27 weeks or 31 weeks or something like that. I think the euro against the Turkish lira had a little bit more in and out, whereas the dollar right here. And I saw a really interesting headline about President Erdogan, you know, coming up with more ways to improve the economy. You can see it's moving down. You got to imagine that's got the same situation going on. There's a lot of profits in that trade. I mean, we started the year off, what was it, like 5 something? There it is right there. It was in the 5, there's 6 in January. So it was in the 595 area. So you're looking at something from 595 to 850. So, you know, there's profits that have to be taken and they have to be offset. And that goes on left and right to center. It just keeps on rolling. It has to be done, and there's no choice about it. You know, traders must do that. You know, if they don't, then what happens is that basically you get trapped paying capital gains on something that you don't deserve to take capital gains on. And so that's always a disappointing thing. So that's the real trick right there, is not to get trapped in that. And that's where we are with a lot of trading. is that, again, the tax man becomes in the end result, becomes the auditor and the arbitrator of when you make a decision to trade, and that's very irritating in its own right. So, alrighty, let's drift over to, and let's just check the chat line again. Do we see anybody saying anything? Nothing. Quiet day. All right, end of the year. Everybody's trying to figure a way to get out the door. I seem to be playing hooky too at times. Same thing. Do a little intraday trading, gone. A little intraday trading, gone. Doing the charts, gone. That's what seems to be going on with this holiday season. These last 3 or 4 weeks have been very relaxing on some levels with the tension of the holidays and the gifts and all that other thing. All right, let's take a look at Canadian right there. You see Canadian slipped into a sell a couple days ago. What do we got there? Let's just double check it. And, oh, I see. We need to fix that too. Can we fix that? Let's see if we can go like this. I go like that. And then we go and move this over just a little bit like so. There we are, like that. And then we've got this, and we move that down a little bit like so. Like that. There we are. And you can see the fact check spreadsheet. And Canada is line 20. 2 days in a sell there too, yes. And 6 weeks in a sell. And that pressure is on. And there, let's put it on the J4X. Where you are? Right there. And so there we stand with the, let's make sure we have sound here. Now, why don't I hear sound? Okay, there it is. And so the Canadian itself, breaking down again, which means, gain in value again, there has been a heck of a run in a lot of these products. The dollar is strong. I know I'm repeating myself, but the dollar has been strong all year long. So someone has to take a profit. If you don't, like I said before, if you don't take a profit, you can't make money. You just got to take a profit. Green Planet Trader. Green Planet. Earth is green? I thought it was blue. Hi, how are you? Euro looking for a possible short? Possible. There's always a possibility. I agree with you there. Right now we're in what? Let's go back to the euro. Let's take a look. Looky, looky, looky. There it is right there. As you can see, we've been in a weekly buy for a while there. Let's move that over. Not until we get into a weekly sells or a short. So we've been in a weekly buy since back in October. And you can see the product has oscillated in basically the range of 16 to 19 in that going into the buy, and then we went into daily buys and fall out of them and so forth. And so if we scrunch this up a little bit, basically the trend has been your friend with Doc's math, and it's been up. Now, can you short it? Sure. When we get into a weekly sell, definitely, without a doubt. That's how we roll around here. Green Planet Trader. I guess green like in dollars, right? Or blue like in euros. Green, 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 like the greenback. So how's that? Does that make any sense to you? But always know there is a possibility for a short. There always is. It's just not right now. As soon as our math turns, boom, short. And especially when it goes into a daily sell and we're in a weekly sell. Just like see what happened while we're in a weekly buy and we go into a daily buy. Notice that the buys have been nice. 1 here, 2 wins, 3 wins. We didn't put that one in there. We need to put that in there. Let's move that one over. Oh, we'll go like this. That one was there. See that? Another nice one. Then it went in and out a little bit. And then another one right there again. Did it get? Yep, right there. Another win. So every buy, which is normally is about 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. And in this case here, the buy is generating right now. So I guess you could say the long is more the way to go than the short. Now, we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 nice wins. So, you just have to start to sit back and think, okay, maybe that 8.5, that 1.5 out of 10 could come around the corner here. But normally, you can see a sloppiness here. Whereas you only could take the shorts, but not the longs, because we were in a weekly sell. And let's just scroll that over. And so we were in a weekly sell here. You'd be short here for this move, short for this teeny weeny little move. That's where you take a profit. Another one here, which didn't work at all. There's the 1.5. The next one obviously makes it back for you because, 1.5 out of 10. And then so forth and so on. This one's another nice win there. Right? Oh, I see what happens is that we go into the weekly buy. So now you can't take that short. You just can't be long. And see, that's how we follow it there, green. 240 and daily charts. 240 minutes, 240 ticks, 240 contracts, and daily charts. Let me know what the 240 is, and we can go look at it with you and see what our math shows. 240 years. Okay, 240 years. Was that? That's the euro. The euro hasn't been around 204. I guess did you put it? Minutes. Okay. I remember saying that to Robert Prechter one time because he uses when he looks at stock indices in his count, he starts off with the London market at the beginning of it, and then jumps over to the U.S. market. And I used to say to him, "Why don't you start when Lady Jane switched the currency from copper to silver?" I always think of that. I find that to be funny. I said it to him 30 years ago, and I still think it's funny. Anyway, let's see. Where are we at? Minutes. Let's go there. Let's find a 240-minute euro for you. Let's see. There's an hourly one, so let's make a copy. Let's do this. Let's make a copy of that, I guess. Yeah, let's do that. We'll make a copy of this. Oh, and that's a December contract. We can get rid of that. That's for sure. So we might as well just not even make a copy of it and just change the product itself. Forex and EUR cash against dollar right there at the bottom. And that is 4 hours. So 240 minutes. So what is that? 4 hours? 120, 240. Yeah. All right, so there's 4 hours right there. Yeah, that's it. Right there. And it's going to fill in. We'll see what it does there. It's back and filling now. We're getting closer. Still back and filling. See, it says there back and filling. And we'll get there. It's getting close. And while we're waiting for that, we'll go look at the euro again, just real quick, with the strength of it kicking back in again. Interesting. You see how the white line? What we're really doing when we're watching our gas line indicators is we're watching them go through the zero line here. Okay, the white line is a 2 standard deviation, but they both, in other words, when it's the gas line 3. They both go plus or minus. The only difference is we're looking at the distance of the white line from the time manifold, and we're not using. And you can see, you'll see it right here. See, it's invisible. Plot 6, which is the gas line 5, the 5 super of the 3-5. So we're not looking at this one in particular that way. And you see, the line is trying to move down. The histogram, the time manifold is moving up. You can see the histogram is breaking underneath, saying that there could be some weakness developing in here. A good example of it is when you see the curve here, you think, okay, it's trying to break down, and you can see the histogram trying to break down below the time manifold, but it rises. Now let's find one, like, I guess in this case here, it breaks down, doesn't last long. Guess it's because we're in the weekly buy that really puts the pressure on it. Then, vice versa, when you're in a weekly sell, let's see, like this was the weekly sell right there, and it goes into weekly buy and then back into a weekly sell. When it's working the downside, you can see the downside pressures all the time on that. So that's a good way of looking at that. Yeah, minutes. So let's go back to that now. Let's see if it's filled in. There it is. It's filled in. Okay. Remember, Doc created this to deal with atomic particles, so it can get incredibly small. So what we have to do is we have to widen it. You're going to be amazed as you see how much widening we do to get this thing to straighten out. We can get rid of that thing there. Remove. There we go. Remember, Doc, like I said, Doc created his mathematics to deal with the Higgs boson back in '77, so that's the reason why it can be incredibly small originally, and then we expand it. So it goes, you know, it can go out a dozen digits with no problem. Dozens of digits. But we limit it with stocks and currencies and so forth like that. All right, so you see here, it went into the buy. Let's use a line there for you. We'll make that white or black either way. It doesn't matter. Let's make it yellow. That's kind of neat. Solid like that. There we are. So it goes into the buy there, and you can see the pressure on it on the upside. Then it starts to break down. The white line and the histogram break down. You can see the pressure. Well, that was a pretty hard drop to begin with. Good 50 pips. And then tries to actually go into a sell here, but it's a green dot, so you can't take the sell there. You're waiting, and you got a volatility signal here. So again, you can't take the short. And then it starts to pop again, and that's what we're doing is we're going back up again. And so that's where we are at the moment here. Same situation here. You see a little sloppiness at times, no doubt about it. But it doesn't give you a sell signal, and so it gives you a chance to stay long in here. This thing is rising. Let's see. Go back and look. We can go back further days. Let's do that. Format instrument. And let's go back. It's going back 20 days. Let's go back 22 days. See how fast it fills in. It's filling in faster. There you go. Let's do 25 days. Or let's do 4 at least. 24 days. See that? And let's go back like 26 days. You can see here what's going on there. How's that? Is that pretty good, Green Planet? Or the greenback, like a currency thing, you know? I always like to think of us as a blue planet. All right, and so you can see the strength trying to climb in again, and it seems like they're going after the highs here at the same time. I hope that helped out. If you want to see anything else, just let us know. We'll go right back to it again or any other subject. Let's go back to the euro there. You can see the strength there. You see it there on, let's go back to J4X and look at it again there. I know it's popping up, but let's just show it to you anyway. And then at the same time, it's in the daily buy there for 1 day and 10 weeks. So we're watching this adventure roll on. Rolling with the homies. Excellent. Excellent. I'm glad you're fascinated. I'm fascinated every day, trust me. It blows my mind. I am excited about it every day. For decades. I've put it to everything. String theory, you know, isotopes, galaxies, stocks, you know, currencies, commodities. Fascinating. Fascinating, fascinating, fascinating. Catches my eye all the time. Makes me young. Makes me feel like young because my mind is playing with something that's growing and is dynamic. The math is literally a consciousness. It's amazing. All right, where'd we leave off? And if you want to see something else, just let us know. We'll just throw it up there. We're not afraid to. Let's jump over to, we did Canadian, we did the Swiss. I guess we're kind of like at the end of the currencies. What we usually do is we go look at Canadian, and you see the Canadian being strong. And so then we look at NAS-CAD, because these two particular pairs trades usually follow the oil market or lead the oil market. And you see the strength here. You see today, this week, we're finally flirting with a weekly sell this week. Right there with the NAS-CAD. So let's take a look at oil. See what oil is doing it to itself. Now we've changed the color of the screens on the ones we send out for Chicago Quant now to black because people are saying this is much more visible. And so you can see here, here's crude oil. It's showing its strength, doing the same thing. It's trying to roll over here on a daily basis, but still in a buy. It's been in a weekly buy since back here, which is not that far away, in the 45, 46 area. Went into the daily buy here in the 43 area, or 42 area, something like that. And, it's been a pretty interesting movement. Now, I would imagine in keeping up with the discussion of taxes, you have to assume there's been a lot of profits on the short side in crude oil, so you would assume that it would find pressure at the end of the year going up. All right, hey, middle age, how you doing? What do you got here? Muscle, silver, wheat, hogs. Thank you, Doc. Sure. And then what's Planet say? Planet says ITYS covered with the other chart. ITY. The J4X. There we go. Let's do that again. Right there, and we'll go put up some of the silver stuff and so forth. Oop, wrong right there. So let's take a look at silver for middle age. Also at the same time, why don't we open up the other thing for him too at the same time, or her. Where's it at? Right there. It's Robin 2. That's what it is. Okay, let's open that up. Now, let's take a look at silver. Right there. As it thinks and spins and twists and so forth. All right, now there's oil. So let's look at silver. Silver's being a little finicky today. You can see it's been in a buy since here. We had an interesting little pop up to the, is that the 28 area? 26.91. So these are dollar increments now. Okay, and you can see we're in a weekly buy since here. And we're flirting with the weekly sell as we speak. Let's widen that out a little bit. You see that right there. Matter of fact, we can put one of the little cute red dotted lines up top to give everybody a warning that something is brewing on the downside. Now, how many times have we seen this product by the end of the day turn around and lift back up? Now, it's not a short, of course, because why, traders? We're in a weekly buy now for 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, going on a 5th week. As you can see also over on the fact check spreadsheet right there. You see that online. Oop, no. Upload, and then we can cancel it from there. There we go, cancel. And as we can see right now on the fact check spreadsheet, 4 weeks in the buy, 3 days in the buy. So you never know. You can barely, not properly visible. Oh, which one says? Oh, okay, how about now? You can see it now though, better, right? Do you like the dark Green Planet? We just started doing this yesterday. We've been talking about doing that because some of the customers over at Chicago Quant say, we like it dark. So there it is. You can see the pressure at the moment in the Silverado. Now let's see what gold's doing with that. Now gold, same situation. It's having a real hard time getting into the buy here. It's been in the sell since up in here, and it's just been sloppy as all get out. But we're in weekly buy, so you can't really be short. You just don't want to be long, that's all. You can see it right there. And so that's what we're watching at this point in time. Let's move that over there like that. And we can take the sell and put the sell there and move the buy. Do that once in a while now. I do that just to remind people. And so you can see here it's flirting with the weekly sell just on the edge, but not there yet. Yes. It depends on what vehicle you're using, Green Planet. And let me take care of middle age at the same time. It depends on what product you're using at the same time. Let's give them wheat. Let's go look at the wheat. There's March wheat. March wheat went into a sell there yesterday, and you can see it's went down this morning, and now it's back up. Let's refresh that. Yeah, we'd like on the webinar, anybody following us through the webinar and through the Chicago Quant timing service or newsletter or whatever you want to call it, basically in the end result, basically is that if it's in a weekly buy and a daily buy, you can play the long side, and if it's in a weekly sell and a daily sell, you play the short side. That's usually the way it works. So that's what the chart service really represents, that action. Now let's see, what else did middle age look for? He said silver, wheat, and hogs. Let's see what hogs are doing. I saw cattle take off yesterday. So hogs holding on with a volatility signal. It still hasn't updated yet for today yet. But check out the cattle. Look at that. We've been in the buys here, been in the buy there. These grains and commodities can be nice, consistently long trends. Imagine like we're in a weekly sell here, right? And you take this short here and you go, oh man, what's up, Doc? We're not really making any money. And then slam a doodle, you make a lot of money. Vice versa too. You get into a buy here and you're in a buy there. And the next thing you know is, geez, I'm not making any money for 3 or 4 days. And then boom, it's like, take me to the bank. Yeah. That's good. Because, I don't know if it's you or who, but there's a few, we have some cattle people, and they're telling us over and over again, they've never seen it like this, where the cattle and the meats, all the meats are joined in together. Everything is marching in the grains. They're all doing it. Now, look at, you asked for wheat. I think we looked at wheat, didn't we? Wheat was really odd yesterday. It took a smack right there, and it's trying to lift up. Now, check this out. Look at corn. March corn ripped yesterday. Now, obviously, we've been in a weekly buy for something like, what's it say on a fact check spreadsheet on line? It must be 19, not 29. I must have accidentally did that. It's got to be 19 weeks, not 29 weeks. And it's file save. But we're going after the $5 area. Not $5, $4.50 area. That's pretty impressive. We got long, we got into the weekly buy. Let's see, where's that here? The math gave us a weekly buy after these 2 weeks of confusion in the $3.50 area. We're up a full dollar now. It just refuses. In the time manifold, that green line, which is the old white line, and the black histogram is now the white histogram because it's a black background. How do you like that? Do you like that, middle age? Like the way we changed the colors there? So, let's see what Green Planet says. Green says charts have a black background. Yes, I like that. Cool. Excelente. So, yeah, we trade decisions based on weekly and daily charts. Exactly. Now, if you're trading options, you can be a little bit more lenient. But, you want to be on the weekly trend to begin with. In other words, sometimes, if you're in a bull spread, you can just go sell a few extra, sell like some calls on top and still be long the bull spread in a sense, but neutralized. And then cover that short call spread up top and keep the long spread back on again. So you can do a couple different games there. Options are so much better. Same for currencies. Yep, same for currencies. Same strategy. It's a safe, high percentage win. We have an 8.5 out of 10 for the last 40 years with this math like this. So it's and then I back tested it on, I guess you could say, commodities. Would you consider a galaxy a commodity? Would you consider an isotope a commodity? So we've back tested it on other products, much more longer distance. Galaxies, 36 million years. Same consistency, the 8.5 out of 10. Isotopes, same situation. Decades. Dow Jones Industrial Average we did back to 1920. So it holds the 8.5 consistently. And so there we are with the corn, though. I found that to be fascinating with the corn. Now, normally, tell me this, middle age, isn't normally when you have the feed getting expensive, the meats should get cheaper, right? I mean, because, but I guess this is not working that way. Everybody seems to be running. Brilliant. Oh, what was it? It sounds like Harry Potter. That's what I was thinking. Brilliant. Brilliant. Yo, Robin. Are you getting any positive feedback about the black background? We're getting positiveness here, that's for sure. So far, no one's complaining about it. All right. What else have we got brewing on here? Let's take a look at feeders just for the fun of it. There's feeders there. Closed in a daily buy there 2 days ago, I guess it is now. On Christmas Eve. So we're just, and what is this? There's 28th. We're not doing 29th yet. It's not trading at the moment. And we've been in a weekly buy with this product the same way, and it hasn't really gone anywhere. The babies are not going anywhere. The veals. All right. Where do we go from here? Yeah, isn't that something? Middle age usually works inverse. That's the way I've seen it throughout the decades. It's I think that story I keep on saying to everybody here at the at the webinar. There's no doubt dollar denominated products that trade in the billions can be substituted as currency, and I think that's what we're really seeing in the end result. Yo yo yo, Robin. So that seems to be the answer to it all. Uh, I think that we're really looking at pairs trades now that are not really pairs trades. They're like a three-legged stool, and that third leg, it gives a choice of, do you want to get long or short a particular currency, or do you want to go in and do a commodity and put a synthetic on? And this way you're playing currencies and commodities, but you're not really playing the direction of the commodity. You're really only playing the direction of the currency. And you put a synthetic option position on, and the next thing you know is you're hedged on the commodity. And that is what it is. All right, traders. Where do we go from here? Let's see. We've looked at the commodities. We can always go back. Remember, traders, I'm willing to look at anything. Currencies, commodities, metals. Let's see what platinum's doing out of this adventure. It hasn't been changed black yet either. There's the platinum. Towards the high of the month, that's for sure. At the beginning of the month, there was the high. It took itself up to $1,100? No, what was that? Yeah, almost $1,100 an ounce. Now we're flirting with the 1050 area. You see, we've been in daily buy for 4 or 5 days there. We've been in a weekly buy for, what was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks. This thing has just been firm in that direction. Using a gas line 7 because it's a slow moving product. All right, let's see. Where do we head from here? Let's take a look at copper. And there's copper. And flirting a little bit underneath the time manifold, but been in a buy since here. And I guess it's going from the 350-ish area, 347 area, up to the 363 area, and bounced back down to not even to where it started from, but now it's flirting again. So that is the copper. Let's save that while we're here. I think we're going to save some of these now. You can see we've converted most of these things over with. Let's see, where is the copper at? Right there. Yes. And let's do the silver too at the same time. Since we were here, let's save that. At least I put a red line in there too. And save. And there is silver. Middle Age says, you forgot to look at the hogs. Oh, yeah. No, we did. But let's do it again. I have no problem because I'll save them, too, at the same time. Let's look at hoggies. Now, hoggies were breaking down, and that was a little surprising thing here. We're in the daily buy here, and there's the weekly. So let's save that. There we are. We refreshed it. Oh, they took out the red dot now from it. That's cool. So just breaking down there yesterday. But we haven't broken into the sell. It's just that compared to cattle, and I'll show you the cattle again just to reconfirm that. Let's see. So what was that? That's hoggies. Where's hoggies at? Right there. So cattle, whereas cattle, busted out on the upside there. And, did the opposite of the hogs. Which is, like I said, it's kind of, I'm sure it'll find a way to join in again. That's usually the way it goes, Sound vanished. How about now? Let me just double check. I hear a me. Yeah, silver. You want to see silver, Robin? We can put it back up there. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Can you hear me now? Let's see, right there. And there's the silver. Yeah, see that? We're flirting just underneath a little bit there, you know? Just underneath the zero line. Just a schmitzen of it. But, you know, by the end of the day, this thing could be playing with the 27 again. You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, how many times have we seen that, Robin? Where the product flirts with a daily sell in the metals in particular, and before you know it, it's back up there again. There's the Nasdaq. Nasdaq acting very firm in there. Let's see, NQ, 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 NQ. So that's not a surprise to see that by the end of the day. We'll see where it's flirting along with. There's the S&P 500. That closed in a buy yesterday, and it's showing the life in there now. That's what, 2, 3, 4 weeks in a buy. Let's see, S&P 500, right there. So, Green, do you want me to go back to silver? I can go back to silver again, or you saw it again. There's silver right there. Silver's very active. I guess that's the best way to describe silver. Active. It can jump around like a bug, like a water bug. There is crude oil. You know, we've seen so many times where that product is being pushed down in the morning, and by the afternoon, it's making highs of the day. These metals have a lot of strange characteristics to them in these times, since they are being used as currencies. Look at natural gas. Natural gas was interesting. Been in a sell there for a couple of days. Gave us a head fake with that. Been in a weekly sell since the cows came home. Right there. Since October, almost the end of September. Alrighty. Do you know middle age? We live in cattle country over here. We got lots of cows. My town had more cows than it had people for a long time. Now it's kind of 50-50. Big exciting night around here was someone's cow got loose, and they walked in front of a car, and it was like a city person. They didn't know any better, and they thought they push it like a deer. 1,800 pounds doesn't move too freely, or 2,000 pounds. Oh man. Yeah, exactly. All right, that's the Russell. All right, I guess we've seen. Anybody want to see anything else? We'll put it up there. Just let us know. I'm just saving some stuff since I'm here looking at it stuff. It's kind of neat. I like to look through it all myself, and I'm always hoping that someone says, "Hey, let's look at this," and then we find a trade. I always like that too. That's always nice. It's like, I didn't even think about looking at that. Now there's the robo gas, or gas oil as they call it in England. Gasoline for the vehicles. And that's holding up nice. There we are. Let's see. Oh, Phil Natal. The stock market just keeps climbing up the wall of worry. I'll go with that. That's a part of it. I think that the fact that they're underinvested. I think a lot of funds are underinvested. I think that's a bigger problem more than anything else. Oh, Middle Age says, my brother-in-law is a farmer with a large cattle operation. Yeah, it's uh, you know, this has been a great year for cattle. It's been a really great year. Sometimes, a friend and I, we go out and we try to count the cows. Especially beef cattle. Just with a drone or something like that, just to see what's floating around. Matter of fact, we have the oldest rodeo in America here. Every week from Memorial Day to past Labor Day, actually. Our rodeo runs all the way into mid September. We do high school rodeo around here, and our points, are national points because we're part of the National Association. So we're a pretty active cattle country around here. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the problem, really, Phil, more than anything else. Why the markets keep on climbing. Let's go back to the S&P. There's the S&P. It's been in a weekly buy from here, but it's not exactly exploding. It's just that it's playing the upper end of the range. When you really look at it, it's the upper end of the range. Now, obviously, that's that was an all-time high, and then played with it again, and the third time was a charm. Now it's just climbing through it because they've, they're underinvested, and I think that's probably the best way to look at it. I missed the whole grain move the past few months. I need to do a better job of scanning or placing these markets under a radar, so to speak. Yeah, I hear you. I hear you. We do that. We're always watching and trading it, and it's been an interesting move. Let's go back to like the grains or soybeans. Let's see what soybeans. We didn't look at soybeans today. There's soybeans. Now soybeans pushed into a. I guess what was that? I thought it went into the sell, but see, it's still above it, so we got to kind of remove that. But it is down. Let's see what they do. We're in a weekly buy for a long while there. You can see it. Our math has been in a buy since back here. I think that's where it went into the buy in the $9 area. See what that is. That is plot one is a plus. Obviously, plot four is a plus. Plot one is a minus. So it went into a sell there. Went buy, sell, buy. That's how it went. And then we've been in a buy ever since. So right there. And then it went into the sell here 1 week later. And then it went into a buy again the following week and hasn't come out of it yet. It's just been in a buy since that, was that 18 weeks? On the fact check spreadsheet, you can see it right there. 18 weeks for the soybeans, 19 weeks for the corn, and 3 weeks for the wheat. Wheat's been the one that dances a little bit there. There you are. Let's see. Phil says, Doc, of the grains, which did you think is the best for like buy or hold or short or hold? I'm thinking corn seems most steady trend, but I don't know. We follow the math. That's pretty much the way we work around here. Uh, you know, it is kind of fascinating to see beans this high so consistently, and at the same time corn this firm, and then watch the wheat go in and out. So it's really, yeah, it's nice to have the spreadsheet up there so you can see what's going on with our history. We always have the fact check spreadsheet up there. Now that we have the lines, we don't have to put the numbers in. We used to have to put the numbers in on this fact check spreadsheet. Now the computer does it for us, which is nice. It's so hard to say if you should love one over the other in trading wise, or being invested. Which one's better? I guess you could do some esoteric thing, like think about the time of the year, what's the age of the crop, of the cattle and so forth, and the hogs, and figure what might be more in demand versus less demand. Is meal more in demand? Let me think. Usually meal is like a fall thing, right? Don't they kind of start doing meal more towards the fall anyway? I mean, yeah, it's being harvested, of course, on beans. But I know that one of the my friends of mine is a big dairy farmer here in the east. He usually says, okay, we've done, alfalfa and corn. Now it's time to do some meal. And so, he rotates like that. So I guess, you pay attention to what your local region is doing, and maybe that's a tip off who to favor. We follow our math. We just watch the math and go with the math all the time. Yeah, that's exactly what the Excel spreadsheet is set up for. Yep, that's why we call it the fact check spreadsheet, because that's what it really is. It's following the math. And I do it by hand, so sometimes I can make a mistake. But overall, if we look at it enough times, we get it straightened out. Just one here or there, like this morning. What did it say? Corn was 29 weeks when it's really in 19 weeks in a weekly buy. And then beans have been only a week behind it, so that's not the worst of things. The math. Let me think. Here's the best way. I always do this. Let me put this up there. This is the best way for the math. Let's see, right here. And this way it's a visual explanation. Let's see. Here we go. Cancel. Let's see. I wonder if I should go like this. Compose. Yeah, I guess I can go like that. And then go like this. Copy. And paste. Let's see. How do I paste this? Go like V. Control V. There we are. All right, now, let's see. All right, so now, how do we do this? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go like this. Do we bring that up? How do we do that? Like so? You can see my email address, which is no problem. People send me emails all the time. I just don't open them. No, I open them. I do. Sometimes I do. Well, I don't necessarily open them, but here's the math explanation right there. So let's do it this way. We'll move this down like this. All right, and then what we'll do is we'll go like this. Let me go with the explanation again. Where's the mouse? So there's the explanation right there. Now if we make that bigger, so it's a what it is it, and this is a case here, where I was looking at the U.S. Steel. So what happens is this is a gas 3. Now in the case up top here, we're using a gas 3.5 super, whereas on U.S. Steel we use that as a weekly. It's a cycle type thing, but in the end result is volatility of the underlying product and so forth. So what happens is that the yellow lines, let's see now, we'll minimize this and put you back up on here. Let's see if we can do this. There we are. So there, let's see, let's move this up like so. The yellow lines are time manifolds. When it's a gray chart, it's the blue lines, but they're the same, same math. And then what is the green line is a standard deviation, 2 standard deviation from the white histogram, which is a 1 standard deviation from the 0 line. So they both go minus simultaneously and both go plus. So in other words, see where plot 1 is 20, obviously plot 4 is 40. See that on there? And so only when the 5 is involved, in this case here the 5 is hidden so you don't see it, so we're not using it, and then it would change the histogram versus the white line could be plus or minus at a given time. One could be plus, the other one could be minus. And the gas line 5 down below, it's just a plot 1 and plot 4 also, because it's a plain gas line 5, not a super, where it has 2 indicators built into it, in the sense of a 3 indicator and a 5 indicator built into one. So in other words, when we double click on that again, you can see we have 2 more plots like that. So 2 more plots? 1, 2, 1 more plot. The 6. That's what it is. And that's the plot 1 of 5. That's what that is. Let me do that again. So with a super, a 3-5 super, 5 is a plot 1. A 6 plot 6 is the same as the plot 1. Only thing is, the plot 1 is a 3 gas line, and the plot 6 is a 5 gas line, and just showing you the plot 1 of gas line 5. Okay. Now that's a daily based off of the daily chart here. The bottom one is representing the weekly chart, so it's looking at a weekly chart, not a daily chart, and it's a gas line 5, looking at the weekly chart. So right there. And you can see it went into the weekly buy here in the 860 area and ran almost up to 920, which is kind of cool, 60 cents, you know. That's way back in June. It's been an interesting rally in beans. Let's see. Can you? Let's see. So let's see. Phil says, Doc, what's the middle row in your spreadsheet that I've explained? Spreadsheet? Oh, it's just blank. Weekly trend. Done. We don't really need it. It's just so on the Excel fact check spreadsheet, it's a weekly buy or a weekly sell there, and this one here is a buy or sell on a daily basis. And when it comes to that, we can just delete that. Weekly trend doesn't even need to be in there. Let's go file, save. It was probably a math of some form at one point before I got the charts to do the work for us. How's that? That's because I don't pay attention to some stuff. Just don't pay attention to it unless you want to know where it's at. We can go look at the chart. Let's say like the Euro Zloty. Notice it just shows the weekly, but not the. Oh yeah, there's the daily. It shows the daily there. Most of the stuff shows. All the currencies show both. Whereas on corn, soybeans, and wheat, I just put the weeklies in there. I don't really pay attention to the dailies. You know, just the same thing with platinum, just the weekly. Same thing with natural gas. But we can look at the chart and see what it is also at the same time. Dollar index, 8 weeks in a sell there, but no daily, and that type of thing. FTSE and DAX, weekly but not dailies, and then Bitcoin, you know, weekly and daily. I hope that helps you out there. Okay, now let me think. Where else are we at the point? So I'll go with that. Discard. There we go. So that is where we are at the moment, and I guess we're at the end of the day, aren't we? That's kind of cool. All right. What do we call today's title? I don't know. Let's see. What were we looking at the beginning? We're looking at Swiss franc. We were looking at a lot of euro. So why don't we label it like euro and something else today, you know? Because we were really looking at the euro a lot today, right? And then we were looking at the grains. So we could say something like euro and soybeans or something like that. How's that sound? So let's do that. So the title today will be euros and that. Let's see. Oh, Phil says, I was just wondering. Thanks. Okay, so Green Planet says HNY. HMY, is that a stock? Or is that like a short thing? Phil says, yeah, I'm thinking of even highlighting sells for different conditions like 5 in a buy mode and weekly sell turns green. Yeah, it's all legitimate stuff. It's good ideas. There's no doubt about that. I just throw it up there so that people can see it, you know, and say, you know, someone can say, well, I don't know how long has it been in a weekly, whatever, you know, and so it kind of throughout the years we've always had a spreadsheet up there, just showing you how many weeks things are in. Oh, you're happy? Cool. Happy New Year! Ah, there we go. Thank you, Green Plant. Same to you. Let's see. So we're going to call this one euros and soybeans. There we are. There we go. So there's the title, Euros and Soybean. All right, traders, we will catch you tomorrow. We're here, same time, same channel. Doc saying happy trails to you. Remember, I'm the singing trader technician. Happy trails to you, and newsletter writer. All our trading friends. Yippee-yi, yippee-yay.